Hey everyone, I hope this video finds you healthy and safe. And if you've got a little extra time on your hands and a place to swing the club inside or around your house, here's a perfect 10-minute practice session you can do to give yourself some quality time swinging the club while you've got this extra bonus time to use. So let's go ahead and get started. So before you get started doing any swing drills, just give yourself a quick dynamic warm-up. Place those arms above your head and do a nice deep squat with balance, keeping your arms as high as you can go. Try not to let your hands drop too far forward. Get that stretch in the upper back and do at least 5 to 10 of these. Once you've completed those, I want you to get the upper back stretched out a little bit more. So stand back away from your club and arch down. Just let everything hang through your lower back. You'll feel the shoulders and the lats stretch out. Round your back, and then as you relax down into the stretch again, breathe, round up, relax down. These are like cat-cows from yoga, and then round up. Okay, I would suggest doing a few arm circles, at least 5 backwards and forwards on each arm to really, again, loosen up those shoulders. A lot of people have tight upper bodies from sitting at desks all the time. Or if you've been sitting on the couch, relaxing at home, you need to get up and start moving and stretch that upper back out. And then finally, the legs. The world's greatest stretch is probably one of the best. So you can lay down your club, take a nice lunge stance. You're going to place both hands on the inside of the foot that's in front, and then stretch up across the leg that's up to the ceiling, back down again. If this is challenging, you can use a yoga block here, or if it's not challenging enough, you can get down a little bit lower on your elbows if you can stretch that far. Once you've done 4 or 5 of those, come back and stretch the front leg, hamstring, calf, and try to lift the toe. Back down again, and you can go through that progression again or switch sides. So I'll go ahead and do that. Hands to the inside, stretch up, down and up, down and up, and then get that front leg, toes up, and come together. More golf specific, take that club behind your shoulder blades, and we're just gonna get a nice stretch rotationally, right and left. Before we begin, try to keep your feet flat as you're doing this and twist as much of the upper body as you can, as opposed to just letting the hips twist as well. So stable in the lower body, twisting the upper against the lower, just to get a nice separation and stretch there. We're going to reverse it now. So hands on top of the club. I want you to keep your chest facing forward and see if you can get those hips twisting right and left. A lot of people have trouble doing this without holding the golf club. So I would say do it first this way, then lay your club down, see if you can put your hands on your hips or your shoulders, and check to see if you can do this without holding on to your club or a chair or the wall. But work up to your ability to separate your lower body from your upper. That's a good dynamic warm-up, but it also starts lighting up some of those patterns and neurons so that you can really move properly in your golf swing. So let's do a quick grip check. Make sure we feel like we're nice and neutral. And now it's time to start swinging. So what I would do, I've just got a mid-iron here. You can certainly use a wedge or a different club. In my house, I have, I think, 9-foot ceilings, so I really don't hit a lot of drivers down here. I hit the ceiling if I do that sometimes, but an iron for me works. So once you feel like you've brushed the mat a few times and get those feet working, I want you to pay attention to where the club is hitting the ground. So it should be striking the mat a little bit left center. Let me show you kind of from here. So we don't want to be bumping the mat in the back of our stance or missing it altogether. Find the ground with some nice short swings and see if you can just integrate a balanced pivot to get the body flowing through impact with some short swings. So let's go ahead and start adding a golf ball. I'm going to use those 8 o'clock back swings, have a little pivot, and just see if I can make some good solid contact from there just to get things warmed up. Awesome. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep practicing that here for a few minutes. Got a handy dandy shag tube, so I might as well use that. Back, pivot. My arms are nice and soft and relaxed. I'm just feeling the weight of the club in my arms swinging back and through, trying not to shift too much to the right and then left again. I'm staying pretty centered and then focusing on my balanced pivot as I extend my arms. So I recommend doing at least 5 to 10 of these. This is 4, and one more makes 5. So just establishing contact and feeling like I can move on to some bigger swings. I have some drills in mind I wanted to share with you today, and I'm going to go ahead and do that here in a moment, but I'm going to work up to a full swing first. Okay, so I grabbed a dining room chair that has a high back. I'm going to place it just behind me so that I feel my hips touching it at setup, and the goal would be to roll my body against the chair as I go back and through. I don't want to lose contact with it till probably the very, very end. So that doesn't mean that this is the end. We don't want to spring up in the beginning of our downswing and lose that connection. If anything, we want to sit down into it a little bit more. So right hip, left hip, and then finish. So you really want to stay glued to that chair, but rolling against it throughout the backswing and through impact. So again here, right, left. If you're doing that, you should feel pressure going right heel, left heel each time you come through, which is a really good point of feedback so you know you're staying in your posture. Let's go ahead and move on to another way of using this chair. I'm going to place it now to the side of me over here. And what I want you to understand is on the back swing that we're using this now as a checkpoint for takeaway. We don't want to hit the chair, but I also want to do an early move here where I don't bump into the chair. I don't want to do a big sway or slide. So I'm going to go back down to just a half swing and try to create some space between my hip and the chair and follow through. So all these things are just prepping movement. I want to show you what that looks like from the side here. So it would look like this. Backswing would look like that. I don't want to hit the edge of the chair. I'm going to set up with my heel pretty much on the leg of the chair, and that gives me space to make a half a backswing and not hit this with my hands or arms and still remain in space here to the edge of the chair. So again, we don't want to slide or sway. You want to turn and then turn through. So let me hit a few more that way so you can see. If you're infamous for blading your wedges, this is a great practice idea and a test for you to see if you're doing things well in your backswing to stay on plane. So you can see I'm futzing around a little bit in the setup, just making sure I'm in the right place, and finish. So you've got 2 great ideas for chair drills there. Let's go ahead and move on to another idea. We're going to feel some flow here. So what I mean with flow swings is to help create some patterning where we get the legs and the feet getting the body moving to get the arms moving. So what I'm doing here is I'm going right heel, swing, left heel, swing. Right heel, swing, left heel, swing. And that little bit of what I call syncopation is really important to feel. So now I'm going to start with my right heel up. I'm going to go down, swing, down, swing. So I'm just going to exaggerate the feeling of footwork. So again, right heel's up. As I step on it, that starts my backswing, and then my left heel going down starts my downswing. It leads my arms into the finish. So again, right heel's up, step, swing, step, swing. So each heel tap is causing me to move my arms just thereafter in a natural way. I'm going to make that bigger now. Step, swing, to a finish. So I'm just finding this rhythm, which feels really, really good. Heel up, step, swing. We're Worked on contact, we've worked on balance, building coordination, and here I have something for you on tempo. What I would challenge you to do is to make a full swing, but only at 25 miles per hour. So the whole thing from start to finish never has a fast moment. Slow, slow. That's very hard to do, but I challenge you to do that. Then work to just a little bit faster speed. So maybe we'll call this 40 miles per hour. And then 50 and 60 and so forth until you feel like you make it all the way up to your norms. You can see the evenness of my swing. I'm not going back slow, fast. I'm keeping the car driving the same speed the whole way through. And as I make it faster, the whole thing gets faster, but it's still very, very even. And I like this because, again, a lot of people have a quick transition, and this will help you feel as though there's no rush at the top. Even, even. And if you want to make it faster, make the whole thing faster. So here's faster, 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 but still very, very even. So find what feels best to you, but challenge yourself to coordinate it at a very slow pace first. That's actually harder because you're going to want to throw your hands and your arms at the ball to hit it, or something's going to want to move fast. So you have to be very disciplined to coordinate the movement very, very slow. You can use this idea of graduated swings with things like grip pressure. So you can start with maybe, very light hands, almost no grip pressure, and then work your way up to something that is very, very tight. So maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, start at 1 or 2 and try to finish at 10, and then work your way back down to where that happy medium is. So here's 10. Feels like I just strangled the club. Didn't feel very good. Work back down to say 8. And this doesn't have to affect club head speed, although it might. Here's 7. And feeling that number throughout the swing, not just in the beginning. So experiment with tempo, swing speed, grip pressure. How much can you control and build skill in your swing? Even without looking at ball flight, I think by internalizing some of these cues, you can only get better and more in touch with what's really going on in your... So I hope you enjoyed this 10-minute practice session and it inspires you to get the golf club in hand while you have some extra free time on your hands. And don't forget to wash those hands and stay healthy and safe. I'll see you guys real soon.